Tonight, President Trump brought up the possibility of commuting former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich's prison sentence.
Yeah, Blagojevich has served about half of his 14-year sentence. WCIA3's Cole Hankey is in our Capitol newsroom. So, Cole, what does this mean for the former governor?
Now, this is not the first time that President Trump has spoken on this. The first time he mentioned commuting Rod Blagojevich's sentence was way back in 2018. Official paperwork was even filed then to get this process started. But this is the first time since then that Trump has mentioned it.
President Donald Trump told reporters Wednesday he is considering commuting former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich's 14-year sentence for federal corruption charges. He told reporters on Air Force One, "I thought he was treated unbelievably unfairly. He was given close to 18 years in prison, and a lot of people thought it was unfair." Blagojevich was found guilty of 17 charges of federal corruption, which included scamming a hospital and trying to sell a Senate seat while in office. Governor Pritzker believes that President Trump has more important things to worry about right now.
President Trump has some pretty important things that he ought to be dealing with, not the least of which is the mindless killings over the last week and gun safety. I wish he'd focus on that. You know, Governor Blagojevich should remain in prison.
Former speechwriter for Illinois Governor Jim Thompson and longtime campaign reformist Jim Bray disagrees with Trump, saying Blagojevich's sentence could have been longer.
I think that it's more of Donald Trump talking about something that he knows nothing about, and that he would like to think that it is too long.
Bray said that in the long history of political corruption in Illinois, Blagojevich is near the top.
He sentenced him. He had a resentencing, actually, even after the Supreme Court threw out some of the counts, and he still came up with that number of years. So if it were up to me, I'd wrap him up in chains and ship him off to a desert island someplace to spend the rest of his life. But Judge Zagel, he's got too much compassion.
To commute somebody's sentence lies solely with the president. So if he decided to commute Rod Blagojevich's sentence, then that would be that. The former governor would be a free man. Paul?
All right, Cole, thanks for that update.